Hey everybody, welcome to Rebootleggers. This is a comedy podcast. Is it a film podcast? Could we call it that?
We've done TV.
We've done TV too. A film and television podcast even. Either way, it's a podcast where we do reboots of things. I'm your host, Scott Owen.
I'm your other host, Frank Serra.
I'm talking like your guests in my home who were just meeting for the first time.
Do you want some tea?
What can I get ya? Why don't you just take your shoes off though? Don't walk in that room though. I've vacuumed the carpet in the perfect pattern that I want, and if you mess it up,
you're a harsh host.
I'm like a grandma.
Like the couches have plastic. Do you have a Pope room?
A Pope room?
Yes, a room that no one can go in case the Pope visits, it's got to be perfect. Couches with plastic, maybe an armoire with like nice plates displayed.
I've never ever in case the Pope visits.
In case the Pope or the president, as long as he's Republican.
Is this a thing that people used to worry about?
Yeah. Well,
is this what your grandma worried about?
You know, the Pope's not going to visit, but it's not for the children.
It's like leaving an empty seat for Jesus at Easter.
Yeah, exactly. Or like pouring one out
for the dead, for your boys,
compatriot,
for the dead boys, for the boys who can't be with us.
Mm-hmm. It's a plastic covered love seat.
Yeah, I've seen those
you can't
for
sit
sure.
In
the carpet, the carpet is of course pink.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and
always
at least like a 2-inch shag.
Kelly's grandparents, Kelly, my wife, you know her, my wife Kelly.
I do.
She has her grandparents' house is right next to her house, her home, her childhood home. And when we go visit, we go there sometimes. And I walk into that house and I instantly get sleepy. Like you just walk
There's a musk.
It's just like there's a musk, but it's also just like it's like 5 degrees warmer than most houses. So you just walk in and it's just like suddenly you're blanketed.
Oh, that would put me out.
Yeah, it's just, you get so sleepy in that house, and I just want to sleep every time I'm over there.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, and then they get me, and then but I won't let them.
Your pockets are just stuffed with chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies,
and you wake up and you're holding a Tupperware of like 3 dinners worth of food,
and peppermint patties at that house. There's a lot of peppermint patties, which I love, so it works.
An Andes mint under your tongue while you're sleeping.
I think that would be really unpleasant to wake up to. Just like
any foreign object, no matter how delicious.
Yeah, well, especially because the chocolate would be weird and like melty under your tongue, and it probably would have like drooled out of your mouth a little bit.
Oh.
So it's just like all over you. Anyway, speaking of old people, we're gonna reboot the Brendan Fraser classic, The Mummy.
Speaking of a 5,000-year-old people.
Hey, this movie very clearly had a lot of love for the old Indiana Jones movies.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up to its misogyny, where you just kind of like, if a woman doesn't do what you want her to do, you just pick her up, throw her over your shoulder, and then throw her into a bedroom and then lock the door.
And now we are going to say, yes, there was the 1932 The Mummy with Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
The Mummy 1999.
It's technically a reboot, but it's a little different.
Yeah, The Mummy 1999 has like 10% of the story in common. It's a really different movie.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird that nobody's tried another reboot since 1999. Yeah. Like, you'd think they would.
So it was a 9-year franchise, right? The latest, The Mummy, Dragon King, Smash, whatever it was called. That was like 2008, 2009, something like that.
Oh, yeah, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, 2008. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was like a 9-10 year window where it was just Mummy Town 24/7.
I guess I'm glad that no one's touched it in the past 10 years because I think that's too short of a time for a reboot. I'm just surprised no one's done it.
Right now, here, this is the 20-year anniversary of The Mummy.
Oh, it is. We're doing it.
So it's time to open the vault.
I'm just surprised. Like, you'd think this movie's just ripe for like a blockbuster, big name actor to come in and like do something different. Someone tall to come and reboot this movie, and no one's done it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
And special effects have gotten so much better.
Oh my gosh! In 2004, Universal Pictures opened up a roller coaster called Revenge of the Mummy, and there's been novelizations of the film and its sequels.
Yeah, it was huge. People had mummy fever.
Why was this movie so big? Is it Brendan Fraser's big chin?
Oh, have you looked the man in the face?
I've looked him in the face. He's got a charm.
Like, we've all seen George of the Jungle.
I forgot he's George of the Jungle. I don't think I've actually seen George of the Jungle.
According to the Wikipedia, which may or may not be 100% accurate, Brendan Fraser was chosen for The Mummy because of his George of the Jungle performance.
Wow. Can George of the Jungle talk?
He can. He just talks like a caveman.
Talks like caveman. He's also in that movie about the guy who like lived in the bunker. Because
Brendan Fraser was in a lot of movies.
Yeah, and he was also in Scrubs a couple times.
It was a really good character arc in Scrubs.
Yeah. Now, The Mummy, I imagine, was big for its special effects. Its 1999 special effects.
Yeah.
And CGI.
Well, I guess, yeah. Its budget was $80 million. The Matrix would happen around the same time, and
The Matrix really broke the mold. This one's got like a CGI skeleton mummy, and it's like, oh, he's not that spooky because his eyes get all big.
I'm a green screen mummy, yeah.
He's scared of cats, the mummy.
Yes, because they are holy creatures.
Because they are the guardians of the underworld, son? Which I kind of wish they would have done more with, but they didn't.
And then there's like a scarab at some point.
There's lots of scarabs, and they eat your face and your body.
Scarabs are sky piranhas.
There's ones that just eat your flesh and eat you up until you're just like a skeleton. And then there's ones that one of them will burrow into your skin, and then it will run around underneath your skin and go up to your head. And then
that CGI is also not amazing.
It's not amazing. So Brendan Fraser, he's like a guy. He's an army guy.
I think he's just a like treasure hunter guy.
He's in the beginning of the movie. He's like an army guy. He's like a captain and a sergeant in a garrison.
Here we go. He's in the French Foreign Legion. That's right.
So then they're like defending something, and then they run away from the city. It's like a legendary city called Hamunaptra, which I guess there's supposed to be a bunch of treasure there. There's a mummy who dead there. He did.
The mummy is dead there. Pharaoh Seti the First.
Pharaoh Seti the First killed him.
Is not the mummy. Yeah, killed him.
He killed Imhotep, his priest, because his priest loved the pharaoh's mistress, and like he's just getting killed for love.
Isn't that how it always goes?
He was just in love.
So then Imhotep, he was the pharaoh's like high priest, so it was like a whole betrayal thing.
Yeah.
So he gets buried alive in a sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And that was in like 1300 BC. So now it's it's like the 1920s, right? It's like
1926. 1926.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then if you open
there's a book.
There's a book, the Book of the Dead, and there's also the Book of Life. But they find the Book of the Dead, and they find the mummy, and they read.
They read the Book of the Dead.
They read the Book of the Dead, which summons the mummy, and then there's like,
"Give me the mummy to life. You are cursed now." And for some reason, they actually read the whole thing out loud. Like, they don't stop when it says like, "This curse will kill you."
Well, and the guy shouts like, "Don't read the book," and then they read the book, and then there's like 4 other American explorers who open a box, and it says like, "Whoever opens the box, the mummy will chase them and take their organs and regenerate himself." So it's like them protecting these 4 guys who each one by one get eaten, and then as they get eaten, the mummy becomes less skeleton-y. But his mouth does still unhinge his jaw.
Yeah. And he like, there's like scarabs coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, and he can make his face into sand.
Into sand.
He can make the sand into his face as he like chases people. And then remember they made a cartoon of this movie?
They made a cartoon, and the cartoon was not bad.
It was for some reason they're all blonde. They made Brendan Fraser blonde, and I'm like, why? Like, why?
It was a WB Kids, right?
Yeah, everybody's got to be blonde. It's also, I think it's a BBC show.
Oh.
That also came to WB Kids. But yeah, it's about a mummy, and the kid is plucky, and he's just like, let's get into the first segment though. What are we talking? We're talking about Love It or Leave It. There it is.
Love me or leave me or let me be lonely.
This is where we talk about what we like and what we don't like. I was gonna say I don't like the weird slapstick comedy, but maybe I do like it. It's very 90s.
You see, the slapstick, that's George of the Jungle. Brendan Fraser is the king of making you laugh and then pivoting and making you fall in love with him. And I don't actually know if there's a modern actor we can get to pull that off. And we can talk about that later.
Now, wouldn't making me laugh also just make me fall in love with him?
I mean, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, what about the Ryan Reynolds?
The Ryan Reynolds could be good. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We are getting ahead of ourselves.
We're obviously keeping Mummy.
We're obviously
keeping
a Mummy.
Book of the Dead.
We got to keep a
Now, the
Mummy.
Book of the Dead doesn't have... We have to keep a Mummy. Are there more than one?
Not in this. This one's called The Mummy. Do we want to make it
a Mummy?
Mummy?
Do you want to make it some mummies?
Some mummies. Do you remember the other cartoon, Mummies Alive, where it's about mummies who are now...
Holy crap, do I remember Mummies Alive.
Mummies resurrected in the modern day, but they're all still kind of gross, but they've got superpowers for some reason.
Mummies Alive was basically a reskin of Gargoyles.
Yeah, basically.
But also, it was still pretty good.
I mean, I remember it as pretty good. I'm not going to go look at it now and ruin it.
No, I am sure the full unedited series is on YouTube because no one is protecting this.
Okay, so we're going to keep at least one mummy. Maybe we'll talk about it.
At least one mummy. We'll put an asterisk on that.
I'd like to get rid of the casual misogyny because it's just like...
Obviously. And look, the 1920s are fine. Do we want to bump it up?
Ooh.
How would a mummy use a cell phone? These are questions that I have.
Ooh, right. And they've never done like a modern day mummy movie
No,
before.
they haven't.
I don't think anyone's ever done that.
No.
So maybe we do that. So we'll still make it. We're keeping slapstick. We're getting rid of misogyny and your misogyny.
All of our misogynies.
And Mr. Ogeny. Get it? I guess, I mean, I like the treasure hunting angle. It's a little unclear. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but they're trying to go find treasure at this mythical city, but he keeps telling them there's evil there, and they're like, I don't believe in evil. The lady who is instantly the love interest, like kind of annoyingly so, like they look at each other once and suddenly they're like interested in each other for the rest of the movie. She's like, her thing is that she's very clumsy, which is... for the longest time, it seems like clumsy was like the only thing that movies knew how like would do with a woman character to like make her seem interesting.
Your classic Mandy Moore, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, just like, oh, she's clumsy. Like, and I don't really understand why that was the thing, but what if she's not clumsy now, huh?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. This is a movie about Egypt.
Go on.
And there's only cats like once.
Twice.
There's only cats like twice.
Yeah. We need more cats. I agree.
Way more cats.
I would like to deal more with the fact that cats are...
Like, the first time that the pharaoh mummy... He's not the pharaoh. The first time that the mummy sees a cat
he like
and like stops
his eyes
people,
basically pop out of his head. But they don't.
Why would you not go and buy like a dozen cats?
Right. So then the next time he shows up, Brendan Fraser runs into the room holding a cat, and he's like, "Hey, I've got a cat." And the mummy goes, "Ah," and he runs away. Here's the thing, though. He's only afraid of the cats until he fully regenerates. Supposedly, we never see a cat again.
Oh, see, but they can at least push that advantage. I want kind of. Imagine if you were wearing a
baby Bjorn
shoulder-mounted scaffold with many cat trees coming off of it at various angles.
You'd have to be a big old... It's like a mech suit, but made of cat.
Yes, exactly. A cat play tower mech suit.
They're called cat condos.
Okay, a cat condo mech suit.
Yeah.
And when the mummy sees it, he would just poop scarabs.
So we could have a scene where, you know, the standard scene where just like close shots on guys like pumping shotguns and velcroing things to themselves and like shoving guns into holsters, and then you see them just like strapping cats onto themselves.
Yeah, well, I want to be clear that the cats will not be harmed.
Cats will not be harmed. Okay. So I want the opening shot of this movie to be like a special...
Everyone got your cat, and like they're all just holding a cat.
They won't even say it. It'll just be like a special forces like gearing up, but they're all like pairing up with cats as well, and everyone's like, "What? Why do they got cats?
You've got mittens.
Yeah.
You've got gingerbread.
Yeah." So I guess it is modern day. We're putting it in modern day because 1920s is like. Do we want to keep
any cats? Yeah.
Here's the thing. They say that the 10 plagues of Egypt will follow the mummy wherever he goes, but we only see 2, maybe 3 plagues.
We are gonna cram all 10.
I want to see all 10 plagues. So
wait a second.
Yeah.
That's not how that. In the Bible,
yeah,
God made the Christian God, the Hebrew God, sent the plagues to Egypt as punishment. The Pharaoh had no ability to bring plague.
Well, this is the priest who has now been cursed by Egypt. Maybe the plagues like got up into him because presumably he was dead in the ground during the plague time. I don't know.
Okay.
Was Pharaoh Seti the first before or after Ramesses? It's okay if you don't know.
Right after.
Right after.
Ramses was his father.
Oh, really?
Ramesses the first was his father. I'm not sure which one is the biblical Ramesses.
I think Ramses the first is shit. Ramses the second is the Bible one, I think.
So that's his. So Seti's his dad.
Oh yeah, I know that from Prince of Egypt. What? The Pharaoh in this movie is the one from Prince of Egypt,
now,
voiced by Patrick
clear,
Stewart.
The mummy is not the Pharaoh.
No, but the Pharaoh is Patrick Stewart Pharaoh. From the Prince of Egypt. I'm just saying.
It's all there.
It's all there. Okay.
What if at some point our main character, because the mummy's Imhotep, he's not Pharaoh.
He's not Pharaoh, but this means that Imhotep saw the plagues happen because the Pharaoh he served was Ramesses II's dad. Oh wait, no, never mind. No, he didn't.
Dad.
Okay, so he was dead in the ground. He was dead in the ground before the plagues happened.
He was dead when the plagues happened, and just plague juice got in.
Plague juice got in him, and now he can control the plagues. It's fine. Mm-hmm. But he only does. I think he only does 3, maybe 2, maybe 3 plagues. We see locusts, we see blood, and then I think it's either locusts again or it's the flies. I think flies was a separate plague from locusts.
We're gonna do them all. Maybe all in a row. I have no idea.
I'm gonna officially move us into segment 2 called When and Where. Because that's where we talk about setting and genre, which we're clearly already talking about. Okay, so real quick, I just want to go through. If you don't mind, if you're cool with this, do you mind if I talk about the plagues of Egypt?
Absolutely. Yes, do it.
Okay, plague 1, water into blood, number 1. Now, is that a plague so much as it was just, I thought that was just Moses was like, hey, look, I can do this. I guess it was.
Well, so the Nile River was changed to blood, and like all the fish died and stuff.
Oh, just in Prince of Egypt, he does it for like 10 seconds, and then he puts it back.
Yeah. No, this was like it ruined their water supply.
Got it. With the staff in my hands, I will strike the water of the Nile. It will be changed into blood. The fish will die. The river will stink.
Yeah.
Get that stank river. Okay, so water into blood is number 1. Number 2, frogs. Just frogs everywhere. Just frogs. Now this is like a thing.
Now here's the thing. See? You got it.
You've heard of the frogs raining from the sky?
Oh,
what were you gonna say? This is a thing that has happened in real world in a few places. Just like, especially in like tropical areas, just like frogs will suddenly start falling from the sky. And the going theory is just that like there will be like big storms that just whip up a bunch of frogs and then take them miles and then drop them on somewhere where there aren't frogs. Horrifyingly, this also sometimes happens with large groups of spiders.
Oh no, I have a new nightmare.
Yeah.
But so there's frogs, and the third being lice, gnats, like pests.
Yeah,
basically.
biting insects. So you just bring
the biting insects. Now, it is interesting that it is right after frogs, because you would think the frogs would have a field day.
Yeah. Now, this is from the Bible. The frogs will go up on you and your people and all your officials. The frogs are going to go up on me.
Is going up on a person as... Is it sexual?
Well, no. I think it just means like the frogs will step to them.
The frogs will front on the people.
Yeah. The frogs will challenge you to like dance, like they'll be all like, it's on, and then you gotta do like break dancing in the streets. The frogs will challenge you to step up.
So the beginning is a pretty basic man versus nature. Water turns to blood. There are frogs, there are biting insects, there are stampedes of animals.
Yeah, so Wikipedia calls that Plague 4 a mixture of wild animals. Now, if we're just going by the title, it's just like, I don't know.
It's the general.
It's just like a bowl full of animals.
A swarm of harmful beasts.
Yeah.
And then they all get diseases. The diseased beasts, that's number 5.
Yeah, disease. Well, the diseased livestock is all your livestock will die. So
you don't get et. You don't have water, you don't eat.
So the number 4 was creatures capable of harming livestock.
Up through 5 is just economic collapse.
Yeah, but then get ready because we're coming for your body with number 6, the boils. Boils was in the movie, in the Mummy. He like mind controls people and they all get boils all over them so that you can like very easily differentiate which ones are evil. Yeah. This number 7, this is the cool one, a thunderstorm of hail and fire.
Yeah, now that's just
fireballs, flaming
hammer.
The hammer. Yeah, he's just bringing the hammer. Number 8, locusts. That one's also economical. And then number 9, darkness for 3 days. Do you think that's just like a very long? So in the movie, it's a solar eclipse that does not move.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there. The sun does not happen. It's like you're at the wrong pole.
Yeah, and then death of firstborn is number 10, unless you put that lamb's blood over your thing. Okay, so now we got to translate these into power. I mean, obviously, most of these are just summons, right? He can summon frogs. He can summon locusts.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these are just summons.
Yeah. Also, fire, lightning, and fire. He just shoots those out of his hands.
Yeah, those are your attack spells.
So then I guess like livestock within a radius of him gets sick. Do people within a radius of him get the boils, or does he have to apply the
disease
boils?
Livestock and the boils? I think it's like if he
can just turn them on and off.
If he uses like an evil command on you, like so he like pets a dog and he says bite people, and then it also gets diseased, but then does what the Mummy like tests a person on the shoulder,
and now they got
says
boils.
Like, give me your credit cards. And then they do that, and then they get covered in boils. I was just going off the dome. I didn't know what I was going to say until I said it. I do like the idea that Imhotep was buried alive in a sarcophagus, but awake and knows what credit cards are.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. He's been keeping up. Does
the big two, the two that we need to figure out are the 3 days of darkness and the death of the firstborn?
Yeah, so maybe the darkness just happens once he is awake.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like he evolves.
It's an omen.
And then everything goes dark. And I think that's paired with there's 3 days of the darkness, then the deaths of the firstborn. That's what happens when he ascends and stops being a skeleton.
Does all the firstborn instantly die, or does he like? Can he only?
It rolls out from him in a physical wave, so that we can have a dramatic moment where like they stop it before it gets, because naturally our main character is going to be a firstborn.
Natch. Yeah. Okay. So then it's modern day, and the genre is we still want to be very slapsticky though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an adventure comedy.
Like a. I don't want to say comedy horror because it is like adventure and like an adventure movie.
Yeah, like Indiana Jones.
But we got jokes. But also there is the scary scarab stuff, and we have good CGI now.
We got great CGI. Okay. Let's move on to segment 3, which we like to call Who Can It Be?
Who can it be now?
This is where we talk about characters and casting. So, who are my characters, Frank? What's the guy's name? I think it's Rick O'Connell?
It is Rick O'Connell.
Rick O'Connell, played by Brendan Fraser. I want him to be played by, who are you thinking?
We already discussed Ryan Reynolds.
We did it now, but here's the real question: Should we use
modern Brendan?
I like where you're going with that. I'm just wondering, should we
not Brendan Fraser Modern Family?
Oh, should we use our Dylan and or Cole on Rick O'Connell?
Oh shoot!
To get those Sprouts boys in there.
I haven't seen much of Riverdale. Can our boy do drama?
Riverdale is all drama. Maybe he plays the Mummy.
1 and 1.
Maybe our boy Cole Sprouse is the Mummy and his brother Dylan is Brendan Fraser.
There's something to be said for kind of the undertone that acting with someone you already know brings to the
they got that chemistry
to the camera. So we get Cole is in Riverdale, right?
Cole is in Riverdale.
So he's
Imhotep.
He's gonna be Imhotep. Right? He's gonna bring the brood. And then our boy Dylan's going to be posted against him. But there's going to be that kind of undercurrent of, like, in real life we're brothers and this is...
What if I'm a little concerned about casting a white guy as an Egyptian priest.
We don't ever see any real body, right?
You might. I think you see where I'm going. I think maybe the mummy clones Rick O'Connell's body.
Oh yes.
So,
dude.
So then he's got a modern day body.
Yeah, that works.
Because his body's all skeleton-y and gross.
And I need skin and flesh, but I can't make my own.
I can't make my own.
I can only do boils.
What if we just got Brendan Fraser to play Imhotep?
In the flashbacks.
Well, no, because then he'd be no. We could just get Cole, I guess. We'll just get Cole, and he steals Rick O'Connell's body, but he doesn't steal it. He just makes a second one based on his. Yeah. But he's got black hair instead of he copies blonde, him, brown, whatever it is. Yeah, copies him. He copies. And
what if Brendan Fraser plays an old man who
used to be an adventurer, a tired old adventurer.
Yeah, and he when they find the Book of the Dead, he's like, no.
He's like, not again.
He looks right at the camera and he goes, not again.
He goes, beans.
Just right at the camera. And his name is George. His name is George Youngle.
Youngle. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hello, George Youngle. De La Youngle.
Yes.
A La Youngle?
Either way.
Okay. Other characters in this. We've got Evie, the librarian, and her brother, Jonathan, who is a rich guy. They're both rich, but Jonathan's like, he's like, I want to just get all the money.
I want to purchase the sarcophagus, please.
I want the money, but I'm like he's got a good heart. He's just like a Nancy boy is kind of what they're going for. So do we just get the rest of the Riverdale cast for this?
Wholesale? Yeah, I'll do it.
We just take Lily Reinhart. She's Evie.
Just boom.
And boom. Then KJ Appa. I never know if it's Appa or Appa. It's APA. How do you say that?
I don't know.
His name's KJ, and he's gonna be Jonathan. And there we go. And now they're in the movie.
And Eric Avari returns as curator of the museum.
He will be the curator of the museum, who is secretly working for the Magi, who try to protect the ancient city and prevent anyone from getting there and awakening the mummy, which they do a very bad job of.
Yeah, they're bad.
At one point, they raid the explorers' camp and start killing people, and then they stop and say, "You have 1 day to leave, otherwise we'll come back and otherwise you'll all die." And then in that one night that they leave, they wake up the mummy. The Magi should have just killed all of them. They're very bad at this. And then the Magi guy, I think, is in the other movies too. But so at the beginning of the movie, Eric Avari lights the map on fire accidentally, but when he did
you can't find the mummy.
I was like, oh, he did that on purpose. And then later he's like, I work for the Magi.
And I did it on purpose.
All right, let's get to that final segment called What's Going On? This is where we talk about the plot. I needs to know what the plot is. So we're modern day. Mm-hmm. Why are these special cat forces in Egypt?
The feline order of Egyptologians.
Egyptologists.
If they're armed with cats, they're gonna be Egyptologists, right? Yeah. They know what they're getting into.
Well, I think they work for the Department of Egyptology. These are just soldiers, they don't. They just follow orders.
These are special. Shoot, hold on. These are Meowshal forces. You see what I'm trying to do? Special.
Special.
The problem is that special forces has nothing to work with. These are
elite
soldiers.
Why so are they going in because they know the mummy's in there and they're trying to get him out? Are they trying to go kill him?
If they're armed with cats, this is a world where magical mummies are
that's what I was gonna say. This is a world where magical mummies are they just around? Is this a world where lots of mummies
are? What if Rick O'Connell is the new guy and he's he accidentally screws up what should be a routine.
Oh, and he releases the mummy in a world of some mummies.
So these are routine decursings, but Imhotep is the mummy.
So they go in and they're like, "Hey, we got this temple. We got a couple mummy sightings. We're gonna go in and shut them down." And then he accidentally lets out the mummy.
So then Rick O'Connell, new guy, finds the Book of the Dead and he goes, "Hey, what's this?" And he starts reading. And then Brendan Fraser goes, "No," and then Imhotep gets up.
Oh, great, because Brendan Fraser's the grizzled old elite forces guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's got an eye patch, and he's like, "Damn it, Johnson."
Okay, so then the mummy gets out, and he starts just plaguing all over the place, throwing frogs at people, and the frogs do go on you.
They go up you.
They go up on you. Hang on, now I gotta read.
They go up on you.
They will go up. Yeah, they go up on you.
They go up on you.
The frogs are going up on people, and that's really unpleasant. The people are just trying to mind their business, and the frogs just start fronting.
Does the mummy, like, take out everyone but Rick O'Connell right off the bat?
Oh, Rick gets out. Maybe, okay. That's when the mummy takes his body. The mummy clones his body, and then the rest, he's like, "You will do," and then he clones his body, and then Rick gets out before he can kill him.
And then he's like, I gotta stop
all these frogs from going up on people. Because up to this point, the frogs,
and
up to this point, just the aggressive frogs is the only plague we've seen. Just the very rude frogs with their low pants and their backwards baseball caps. And they're just like fronting on people. They're stepping to them, you know? And it's like, I don't want this.
They're fronting on them.
They're fronting on them. What's fronting? That's like stepping too. Right?
You've called my bluff. I've got nothing.
Urban Dictionary, fronting.
And then skip the obvious sexual
Acting
ones.
like you are more or you have more than what really exists. Fronting, to put up a facade or make appearances. Fronting on.
Appearances.
Wait, what does fronting on mean? There's also fronting me off, which is probably
I think that's sexual. I think fronting on, it just means that there's a subject to whom you are presenting as if you have more.
Apparently fronting on means minding your own business.
I don't think that's right.
Fronting on myself. Fronting me off is the act of embarrassing a person in front of other people.
I think so. I think a lot of these are.
Yeah, I think they're stepping to them and going up on them and just causing general distress. Lots of frogs everywhere. And then the mummy gets his new body. Rick runs away. And he's like, I gotta go find some cats, maybe. Or maybe like a cat wanders in and that's maybe his... Okay, he is gonna have a best friend cat now. The cat can't talk or anything. It's just like his best friend cat named...
Boom! Like Salem.
Named Leon or something.
But not a puppet.
Not a puppet. Of course not. He's just a regular cat. The cat can't talk or anything. He's just his lifelong companion cat.
Mm-hmm. And then what does he name the cat?
It's probably...
Remember,
it's probably...
He's an Egyptologist.
Yeah, it's probably Bast.
It's probably Bast.
Bastet. One of the two.
And he goes...
And it's a lady cat. It's a lady
What's
cat.
Up, girl?
He's like, girl, hey. So then the cat walks in and then the mummy's like, ah, and he runs away. And then Rick's like, hey, thanks, cat. That's how Rick talks now.
Yeah, he does the whole movie, and it's not pleasant.
He's, shoot, all them frogs going up on people.
Our producers are going to push hard on us, and we have to stay strong.
They're going to go up on us. And
this is Rick.
This is Rick. Rick is from... I don't know.
He's from Backwater, USA.
Backwater, USA. He's like,
and he doesn't give a state. No one asked the state.
Oh golly, these frogs sure are a nuisance.
Mm-hmm. And does he use old timey backwoods wisdom? Like a little bit of paprika makes the frogs go away.
Yeah, he just puts Windex on everything. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so what's Evie doing this whole time? Like, Evie's got to be their resident, like...
She has guns.
She has guns, but also books. Mm-hmm. And she's the opposite of clumsy now. Now she's very capable.
Yeah, so the whole cat task force is blown, and so then Rick stumbles upon Evie's excavation campsite.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mummy is following him, and then she pulls out two guns and just...
She's a freelance mummy hunter because mummy hunting is a thing that we've established.
Mummy hunting is a thing, and she's good at it.
So maybe Bast the cat leads her to Rick, and she gets him out.
Yes, And then she pulls out her guns, but the guns are full of catnip instead of bullets.
Just summoning cats.
And just boo, 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 boo. And he's just full of buckshot, but instead of buckshot, it's catnip.
And he doesn't like catnip.
And all the wild Egypt cats, they start coming around.
Oh, there's lots of wild Egypt cats for sure.
So, and she says, like, we've had them all for now, but we gotta...
Okay, so then they go back and they regroup. He comes back and he starts plaguing everyone. And then, so in the original movie, they kill him by using the Book of Life. They make him mortal again so then he can get stabbed.
And I do want to point out, the biblical curses do not work on cats.
Biblical curses do not work on cats. That's why the cats can kill the frogs and everything.
Yeah.
So as long as you've got a cat with you, you are shielded.
Well, the cat won't be affected.
Oh, I thought maybe the cat had like a radius of shielding, maybe. Like if a cat bonds with a person, you are shielded, maybe.
I think that would be too... Because then why wouldn't they just all carry a cat all the time?
Well, they do, but then he sends his followers to go get their cats. Like protecting your cat.
Followers can take the cats away.
Protecting your cat is
very important. But then when the follower picked up the cat, they would be cured.
No, the cat... this is tough. Okay, yeah.
This is messy.
All right, cats can't shield you.
It's maybe too neat of a bow, I think.
Maybe Rick's cat is very special and cures him of a plague at the very end when we think that all hope is lost because of his deep friendship with his cat.
Okay, like Pokemon the movie.
Like Pokemon the movie, exactly.
Okay. All cats can't do this.
Just his cat.
This cat is literally the only living thing he cares about in the world.
They have such a deep friendship. Well, until he meets Eevee.
Till he meets Eevee.
But she's like, nah. But maybe...
Yeah, she's not down.
Maybe we'll establish something for that, and then we can take the relationship further in movie 2. But it's not going to be like... It's not going to be... They're not just going to meet and fall in love like they do in this first movie. Mm-mm. And then also, what's the brother doing? Her brother, Jonathan. Is he like her handler?
I kind of like... I want to...
He's like her manager.
Over him being like only worried about money.
Right. But he's her brother, and she's a mummy hunter. So is he like...
Maybe he wants...
He's just the guy who takes all the... He like does the business on her behalf. He like takes the contracts and stuff. And he's like the man in the... Is he her man
he's
in the
not
chair?
Like a bad guy.
No.
But he's like just not noble.
No,
right?
He's not noble. But he is in the end in the other movie. Like he is. But he's just like also very much cares about money. And he's very...
So he's like, the bounty's really going up. And then it's like, that's not what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, stuff like that. Okay, so then how do they kill the mummy? They throw a cat at him?
No,
they use the Book of Life. They got to go find the Book of Life.
They got to go find the Book of Life.
They use it. They make him mortal again, and then they slew him.
And then they stab him with... They have to melt down Jonathan's gold to make a dagger.
Jonathan, you poor boy. Yeah,
and he's good. Like, and he proves he's a good guy by doing that.
That's good. And then the movie, and then credits.
And then roll credits.
That's going to do
it. And then scarabs start crawling from the bottom of the screen, and they start eating the credits. And there's the post-credits scene. Yeah. What happens, Scott?
The post-credits scene. Well, the mummy, he unhinges his jaw, and he's like, rah. And then, but then he's like, I'm a different mummy. Yeah. Maybe like a scorpion crawls over his butt.
Yes, and the scorpion has a tiny little crown on it.
Yeah, and then Dwayne Johnson. We will get
and then
Dwayne
it says
Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson will come back in the Scorpion
Yeah, you can't not use Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, not when you're talking about the Mummy franchise.
No, we're talking about the Scorpion King. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. That's our movie. Do we want to do a food pairing for this?
What food is the most like sand?
Oh,
like that like Oreo crumble pudding, you know what I'm talking about?
Baby bottle pops?
But
only the powder?
No. Yeah. What's the other one where it's the stick?
Fun dip. You're going to want to get some
This
Fun
is a
Dip.
choice. Fun Dip or Baby Bottle Pop?
Well, obviously Fun Dip because I like eating those sticks.
Uh-huh. Really?
Yeah, I like the sticks a lot.
If given the chance, would you just eat the stick?
Yeah.
If somebody said, I ate the Fun Dip powder, I just have the stick, do you want it? You'd say yeah?
Yeah, I always just eat. I always ate the powder by itself, and then I would save the stick. I would just pour the powder in my mouth.
Oh, see, I would eat the powder by itself and then just throw it away.
What? The stick is the best part.
The stick is like intentionally a blank, flavorless
It's
blob.
not flavorless. It just tastes like sugar. It's delicious. And the texture, Frank. And then you're gonna, are you just gonna drink Mountain Dew Code Red?
Do you use the stick to stir the Fun Dip powder into the Mountain Dew?
Oh, shit.
What we call a dentist nightmare.
Yeah, I guess that's what you do. You're gonna use. I mean, are they gonna do Mountain Dew Code Red because of the blood water?
Because of the blood, the water turns to blood. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then you're gonna dump that fun dip right into it, and then do whatever you want with the stick. You're just
gonna ruin your mouth.
Yeah, just ruin your mouth in the old dentist nightmare. All right, well, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We're back, as you can see, with a regular episode. If you like the show, please give us a good rating and review on iTunes, or as they call it, Apple Podcasts. That helps us out so much. And tell your friends if there's anybody you'd like to tell about this. And you could tweet about us on social media, I guess. We don't have a hashtag, but we've got a Twitter. It's called Rebootleggers. So, find us there. Send us your tweets. Until next time, I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
And Frank, what's our password for next week?
Our password for next week is, I'm out of catnip bullets.